What's up, guys? Glowing Gear Studios here. Happy Halloween! And in collaboration with R. Mosley, I'm going to be linking his Instagram in the description below. We're going to be bringing you a very spooky project. We have Luigi, King Boo, and Luigi's Mansion from Luigi's Mansion. So, let's get started, right? What do we got? We got this lovable guy here, the little underdog that feels like he's in Mario's shadow, but people low-key like him more anyway. So, you know why? Because he's actually written with character. Kevin Feige. So, here's what we got. We have a... Whoa, look at how huge that brush is. We have... Look at how small that brush is. We got a extended sphere for the head, sphere for the torso, 2 tubes, 4 tubes, sphere, 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 sphere. Now, you could probably see where this is going, right? Look at that. We got another one here, another one for the hat, ears, stash right here is going to be tubes, sphere for the nose. All right, boom, Luigi's done. Now let's move on. Let's do the Poltergust. The trusty Poltergust is the little vacuum pack that is gifted to Luigi to help fight the ghost invasion. EGAD, I believe, is the guy that makes it, which is pretty cool. Get it? You know, haha, EGAD, go scary. Well, here's what we got. We have a box right here for the main body, and we're going to be carving out this section right here. We're going to be kind of sweeping in and carving that little area out. We got a cylinder for the canister in the back, and then we got a smaller one that's going to cap it off. We are going to be using a linear repeater for this cord, right? So we're going to be taking a, let's say a tube, and then let's say times 20. We're going to drag it down, and it's going to repeat all in a sequence, which is pretty cool. So you could, I believe that's a new Nomad feature, which is pretty awesome. Going to be using another basic tube for the little leather straps that he has, box right here for the actual buckle, and then we're going to be putting a cylinder on the bottom and another cylinder here on the side. We are going to omit the actual vacuum suction head here on the top because we're going to be replacing that with a light, and you'll see what I mean when we get to it. So let's make King Boo the arch nemesis. Now hang on to your butts, okay? This one's going to be a doozy. Watch this. Bang. Okay? Are you still with me? Bang. Are you ready? Bang. Crown. Box. Cut it by 6. Then you got a little diamond. You're going to use a mask to extrude the eyebrows. Going to use a cone for the teeth. Sphere for the tongue. Now you got a King Boo. So, let's put it all in action. Let's get to sculpting. Into the sculpt we go. So, right, what are we doing? We got a sphere for the head. We're going to elongate. For the stash, we're going to use that tube. And for the ears, another set of spheres. As you guys could imagine, the difficult part about this sculpt was not so much the shapes themselves. If you look at this render of Luigi that's here on the left, it's very straightforward. It's a lot of round shapes. We're using a lot of tubes, right? We got these tubes that I just added here for the legs, tubes for the arms. The difficult thing, and this is what happens, this is why a lot of people struggle to model faces, to draw people in general, even though this is he's a human, but this is a cartoon human. The thing is that this is a very familiar person. Like, look what we have here, right? So, this is the basic Luigi shape that we have. Now we're going to be modeling the Poltergust. But the thing is that with a very familiar character, we know exactly how this should look. We know when things are off, like the arms are too long, the head is too narrow, the legs are too chunko-munko, right? There's a lot of things that you have to put together. The shapes could be easy, but you have to make sure that the proportions are right and that everything looks good together. So, here with the Poltergust, right, we have a little bit more wiggle room. I couldn't find a lot of good reference material. I have this really great shot that came in super handy of Luigi on the side, like facing sideways with the Poltergust kind of jutting out from his back, which helped so much. And then, of course, the image that I'm using here is official, I believe an official render from Luigi's Mansion 3. Now, full disclosure, I have not played Luigi's Mansion. Right, this is, I know I'm a criminal. I believe me, I want to get to it. I'm actually in the process of replaying Mother 3, but no, I know that it is an absolute must-play of a game. I'm acutely aware. But here we go. Let's move on to the hands, right? So, hands, I know, give people a lot of challenges. I swear the most that you have to do when it comes to hands is take it slow and break it down piece by piece. So, let's just go back real quick. One of the things that I started doing is that instead of making the thumb, because all of our fingers, we got 3 joints. I guess our thumb technically has 2, but there's the one that's embedded into our actual, like the meat of our hand. So I'm going to say 3. All of our fingers are 3 joints. So you can see, let's say right here from this this profile view of the hand, where you have the pinky having 3 segments. With the thumb here, I did 2, and then the fleshy part I added as a sphere that I just kind of morphed to give more of a shape to the palm. And that helped out a ton, right? And that's now how I'm going to be doing hands for the time being. It's just going to be using the boxy sphere for the main fleshy part, and then a more typical sphere for the meat of the thumb, and then a thicker tube for the thumb itself. So here I'm positioning the arm. I love the way that this came out. I am positioning the tubes, right? Because I didn't confirm the shape of the tubes yet, so I'm able to manipulate each of the joints. So I'm positioning the hand around a placeholder for the, I guess, barrel handle of the flashlight that he's going to be holding. And then I used his other hand and I cupped it around the first one, so it just kind of looks like, you know, he's holding it close to his chest, he's nervous. And of course, what really sold that kind of image was when I did this with the eyebrows. Like, changing the placeholder eyebrows to make them inverted, make him look like he's nervous. It was... I'm sure that you guys have experienced this before. Any fellow artists, any sculptors, anyone who's done anything like this, you've experienced this before. There were moments in your work where you're like, damn, there it is, right? Now, even though this was early on, that little change, shifting the eyebrows to make him look nervous, I was like, there it is. There is the Luigi that we are looking for. So now I'm just making the cord for the Poltergust, and this is the base mesh that we have. This is the pose that's going to be finalized, and now it's going to be time to start adding details, really fleshing out the face. So this expression took quite a while, right, to make. I used a mask to begin everything so I could push in the mouth, and then I used cylinders, right, because think about it. If you look at a skull, right, it's not, the teeth are covered by flesh, and even though the mouth, let's say even on a cartoon, could be flat in appearance, you still have cylindrical teeth that are underneath. So here I'm just adding the line for each of the teeth, and then that little mask is for his gums, right? And you'll see once we get the color done later how much better that this is going to look. But this is the face that we have for Luigi over here. And after adding a ton of textures and really finishing up some of the detail, this is the final mesh that Luigi has, you know, pre-painting. And I love the way that this looks. I feel like all the details are present and accounted for. The jeans look great, the textures on the hair, the shirt, it all comes together. So now it's time to make Boo. Now Boo, as you could imagine, by the way, I didn't mean to scare you. Halloween, right? But Boo, as you could imagine, was a lot easier. This guy, as we had said in the blockout stage, like for the during the little drawings, what are we really looking at here? Come on. It's basically a sphere. We got another little extended sphere for the tongue. We got some cones for the teeth. And then another couple of cones for the arms and one for the tail. So, you know, this really wasn't this really wasn't that hard. I would say that it took about an hour total to get all of Boo's pieces together. The painting was maybe an additional couple of minutes that you'll see later on. But during the crown, I really started to get a hang of the radial symmetry and just understanding how each of the components work. So I used radial symmetry times 6 to actually make the metal of the crown itself, and then I used radial symmetry times 6 to make the diamond. And after a couple of adjustments, I think that it came out really, really solid. So my brother recommended that I use his arms facing up, you know, just to give him a little bit more expression, kind of curve the tail a little bit, and I think that that was an excellent call. So here's the final model for Boo, and you're like, it looks very strange because he doesn't have the purple eyes and the big black silhouette, not silhouette, the big black shadow that's underneath the brows above the mouth. You'll see that once that's added, it looks way better. So again, for the painting stage, all comes down to just throwing on the important basics. We have, you know, the core green, the blues, we have the red for the Poltergust, and right here, so look, really cleaning up the L on Luigi's head, adding the blackish plastic to the bottom of the Poltergust. Now, the next part that you're going to see is the eyes, and the eyes were a big challenge. Just to make the shapes look natural and round, that took, like, this took so long. I would say that this took, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, I guess it's not crazy long, but it took about maybe a half hour to get all this stuff right. And after layer, really trying to get the colors right. I'm very happy with it. Unfortunately, Nomad's renderings and its paint capacity isn't great, but it's serviceable to say the least. So, you know, especially for the purpose of just making a render, because we rely on the prints anyway, I think that it does a more than fine job. So this is Luigi. Luigi's at this point, Luigi's pretty much done. Now it's just a matter of contouring his skin, his shirt, making sure that he has a little bit of, you know, extra color just to really make him, you know, come to life. So right after him, you know, here we're gonna start throwing Boo on, and this is the extent of it. This is really what it comes down to, people. So upon further ado, right, or without further ado, rather, you know how to use words in this house. Let me show you what we got. Ladies and gentlemen, that is everything. What do you guys think? Do you like this little diorama that we put together? I have to be honest, I think that Measly absolutely crushed the base. I wanted this idea of a mini mansion where, you know, if you see here, you know, it's you have the staircases, you have the lobby of the place, and I thought it would be a great place to integrate a stand for King Boo to actually be above looking down on Luigi, and I think Measly absolutely crushed it. So give him a follow for real. He is an like an absolutely talented artist, has amazing techniques, he's a great guy. So give him a follow. Let me know what you guys think. What was good? What was bad? What do you want to see? And thanks again for sticking with me all the way to the end. So happy Halloween, and you guys have a good one. Bye-bye.